What's up, guys? It's your boy New York Hobbyist back at again with another video. Today I am running another build overview of my Esky Eagles medium to long range FPV build. I am running an SNL and it's very simple, no action camera. If you guys saw my last video of my Fun Cub and you guys went to my my Instagram, you would see my Ranger had an action camera here, but no action camera this time. Just straight FPV, kind of doing it like Bonafide Pirate, his Esky. I kind of got the same idea from him because I actually wasn't supposed to get this plane to replace my Ranger G2. I was supposed to get a Phoenix V2, but Banggood didn't have it in stock, and I really wasn't trying to wait almost 2 months to get it. So I decided to exchange it and get this one. I got this one for around 120, the plane, and all the electronics. I will link all in the description, like literally everything I will link in the description. Trust me, I got you guys. So let's go to my bench behind me, and then let's go through my build overview. If this is a long video, I'm sorry. I do have a lot into this plane, and I'm just hoping everything works well. I am experiencing a couple of range issues with my FlySky FSI-6X. So I'm not sure if I'm going to fly this one yet because I'm really not trying to lose range. Obviously, I know it has a full GPS and flight controller, but I'm still not trying to lose range. My Fun Cub, I did a maiden on it. Sorry I didn't make a video for it. I was just very focused on making the maiden, doing the maiden, and I just lost range. I had 200 feet of range, which is like the stock antennas do better. So I'm not sure if my antennas are wrong or my antennas are bad. I don't know. So onto the build, the overview. Sorry about that, guys. I will take off the wings because I can't fit this ginormous plane on my desk, so I will take off the wings. But yeah, on to that. Go. Okay, now you guys see my Esky on my RC bench, which I already mentioned in my last Fun Cub video. But as you guys can see, I have a little bit more stuff. You guys already seen the lamp, but now I have a full-on organizer full of just, RC stuff. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. There's a whole bunch of straps. My X-Acto knife, all that stuff, but we don't have to worry about that. You guys will see this a lot from now on, but right now, we don't have to worry about that. So, here is my Esky. You guys see, okay, one thing to note, Esky does not make an FPV canopy, so I had to build this on my own. You guys can obviously see the foam board right there where the servo is, and obviously Esky, this was not meant for this mount. There's a mount here that sits on top of the ESC. Oh my god, sorry about that. There's a mount here that sits on top of the ESC, and this mount right here, it's kind of hard to see, but you see like a little platform. This is actually meant for a receiver. So Esky had no intention of making this into a FPV flyer or flight control flyer. This spot's for a receiver, just a normal standard receiver. And this was a whole canopy. There was no cutout, no nothing. I had to do all of that. I got all my ideas from Bonafide Pirate, I'll link his channel in the description because he kind of deserves the credit. There was no way I was going to think about doing any of this if I didn't see his videos. So yeah, all right. Let's just get straight into it. Obviously, as you guys heard from my intro, I am running a AFPV SNL. Very small, compact flight controller, and fairly cheap. It's an all-in-one. It's pretty much like the Vector. If you guys ever seen the Vector, I think it's Hobby Wing Vector Eagle, something like that. It's just an all-in-one GPS. Bonafide Pirate did a couple videos. His binary actually runs a Vector, which this is kind of based off the Vector. So it's cheaper, and it's actually really good. I've seen Ali Shamo have a couple of his models with this. He has the SNL and the SN Navy. So it's pretty good. It's not bad. I haven't flown it ever. Obviously, you guys know that you guys don't know, but my G2 crashed on launch, on my very first launch. It went straight nosedive. I think I had it too heavy, or my throw was just bad. I don't know. Like I said before I still go in, it might be a long video, and I'm sorry about that, but if you really want to see what I did to get this thing going, just watch. You're gonna have to watch for research, I guess. So here, let's just go to my canopy. So my canopy, you'll see that I have a Eachine C800T. Really good FPV camera. You can make out a lot of stuff. The colors are all amazing with this FPV camera. It's really good. Here is my video transmitter. I'm using an insanely powerful AKK X2 Ultimate. It does max around 1200 milliwatts, which is kind of crazy for how small it is, but it does get hot very quick. I only have it glued, hot glued, and zip tied. And the hot glue, it won't stick forever. Once this thing gets up to temperature, it actually melts the hot glue again. So that's why I put a zip tie here. You guys can see that this is all foam board. This is all dollar store black foam board that I had to cover up. You guys can see tape here. This is all Gorilla Black tape to make it all purdy. Because this thing, it wasn't the easiest to build because I cut away so much that I thought it was going to be a goner. I thought it would be so like unflexible. But once you put, like, I have it completely hot glued. So once you put a lot of hot glue, you'll see. Once I take off the canopy, I'll show you guys all the hot glue that I did. I do not remember that servo, but this is like the only servo I can find that can actually go in 180 in both directions. Like literally the only servo. Like Banggood only sells it. I can't find nothing else. I have found a 360 continuous, but that's continuous. I can't have continuous because there's a wire here. This is the only servo I found that actually goes 180 on both sides. So I'll link that down in the description. It's very helpful if you want to do a only pan, not tilt. If you want to do just pan, this servo is the one that you need. Like you need. Pretty much. You guys can see just a whole bunch of wires. Once I open the canopy, you guys will see more. But the only problem is about this plane I don't like, because everything is internal. So you guys see there's no servos here. Everything's internal. The servos are internal, which means that the servos are mounted at far enough forward that you can get a screwdriver in and have adjustments if you need to. Problem is with that, it's just a lot of dead space. Back here, there is so much space in this back area, but you can't use it unless you like make a door, which I was gonna do, but I didn't really need it. Like I did it for the Ranger, but I didn't do it for this. There's just so much dead space back here, and it's like it's kind of annoying because, you know, like you can fit like all your gear behind everything and then have the battery up here nice and free and all that stuff. And if you want to fit more stuff like like more heavy stuff up here in the front, you can. It's just, I don't know why they did that. This is, so the Esky, one thing about the Esky is that it's pretty much a remake or just a rebranded of the Horizon Hobby Aero Scout. So they did that too. So I'm guessing Horizon Hobby came out with this first. So it kind of annoys me, but you can get it done. You can get it done, especially if you have like a iNav flight controller where there's no need for a PMU, because this thing does need a PMU. It says PMU right there. Power module unit. You do need an external PMU that it comes with, but it does need to be there to power anything. So maybe a iNav flight controller, or maybe a drone flight controller flashed with iNav, and it will be better than what I had to do. All right, so I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna take off the canopy and I'm gonna show you what's inside. All right, so now you guys see the canopy is off, and you guys are gonna see that I have these two little Velcro straps coming on the outside. Those correspond with some Velcro on the side. So the reason why I did this is because this is actually pretty, it's not heavy, but you can feel that there's weight to it because the camera is metal. It's a metal case as well and everything. I didn't want this just holding on by that one magnet. So I decided to make like a little strap, and it honestly, it's so strong, these two straps that I did, that I can actually pick up the whole plane from the canopy itself, just holding it like this and picking it up. So remember, this is just one magnet if I didn't do this. So it would fall out right away, but now because of this, canopy is strong, sorry. So you guys can see how I wired everything. You see the antenna for the video transmitter coming through into that. I cut a little hole into the back, and you can just see the amount of hot glue I used. It's insane how much hot glue I used. All that hot glue everywhere. And there's more on the outside, but it's all covered with Gorilla Tape. All the hot glue everywhere. This thing is strong now. This thing is so strong. Before, when I cut it, it was so flimsy, like it can flex in half. But now this thing is solid. This thing is not coming apart. I'm never gonna lose that servo. And the amount of hot glue I used to get that servo in here is a lot. You can just see a pool right there. And all these supports on the side, these supports. So canopy is done. I will turn on to my FPV camera right there. Sorry, FPV and monitor. I will turn on the plane and you guys will see what it looks like. I won't go into full depth. I'm just gonna show you a little bit because once I get all the trimming and everything right, I will share with you guys all of the settings if you guys want to do the same exact as me. So canopy, all perfect, all good, great. Now on to the actual inside of this, and you're gonna see just a mess of wires, or what it would seem like. These 3 wires right here in the front are 3 wires, one for my 180 servo, and then another one, which is this yellow one, that's for my video transmitter, and then this one is for my camera. So these 3 wires stick out right here perfectly. Like this hole was meant for ventilation and it fit my PMU connector perfectly. So since I have these 3 wires coming out, you could just tell how easy it is to get the canopy on and off. So obviously, like I said, my PMU wire goes through there. So my PMU is right there on the side. That black box is my PMU. And like I said, guys, if you guys get an iNav maybe, or maybe a drone flight controller, you don't have to worry about a PMU. You don't. So the PMU was kind of an annoying place to find. I wanted to make sure that because the servos are mounted in the front, I didn't want them coming in contact with the servo horns. So I decided to just put it on the side, angled down, and all that stuff. Only problem is, because of that, and because it's such a small space and there's so much dead space, like you can literally see how much dead space is. You look at that. There's just all this dead space that I just wanted to use, but I can't. Because of that, my ESC wire connecting to the PMU is just floating in midair. It's strong enough that it's tight enough that it won't fall onto like the servo or anything. But the connectors between the PMU and the ESC is just like, it's not housed down. Like I wanted to tape it onto the wall. I can't. So it's literally just like floating pretty much. On the other side, I have my FlySky FSIA-10B receiver. I am not running 10 channels. I am running 7 channels, not 10. So that was just overkill that I bought it. But FlySky doesn't make a 10 channel or like a 8 channel receiver. I think they don't. I don't know. I don't think they do. So I am running a FSIA-10B, and you'll just see that it's just hot glued on the right. They're both just hot glued, and you can see the antennas coming through on each side. Not all the way, because I can't get my finger down there to put them towards the back. So, and these are just all hot glued. So super simple, you know what I mean? There's not much to this build, because this is an all-in-one, flight controller. I don't have to worry about connecting this into a computer to do all my settings. No, it's literally all-in-one. Another thing I have here that you guys will notice all the way in front is a UBEC. I adopted putting UBECs on all my planes because just in case if the ESC ever dies, you still have control over your surfaces, which means that if your plane can glide, you can probably get it down somewhere without really causing any damage. My Fun Cub, you can see what is bent prop shaft, because I tend to break planes all the time. Just ordered a new motor for that, so don't worry about that. My Fun Cub, my Skylark, even my, okay, well maybe not my Sonic model, but my Fun Cub and my Skylark, they're running UBECs in theirs. So I run UBECs on all my planes, except for my wing. And I didn't have to run a UBEC here, because this is a 30 amp ESC, and the motor at max throttle does 20. So didn't have to do it, but for safety reasons, I always do it. I always encourage for people to do it, because if you just, anything happens to the ESC, you will still have control. So pretty much this is just, it's a very simple build, guys. You guys can do this with some hot glue, some double-sided tape, and just connectors. Obviously, I have a lot of extenders and servos here, but I am running the stock servos because I am not running a action camera. I'm literally running a 20-gram metal cased FPV camera. So there's no need for heavy lifting. The heaviest thing in this plane is the battery, which is saying something. The heaviest thing in my Ranger was the camera. So you know what I'm saying? It's a very easy build. Obviously, you guys see the wings. One thing I did have to do to the wings, though, if I flip it over to the other side, I had to cut it out a little bit. So because this mount is very high off the plywood here, like I showed you guys, there's a mount right here. It's very high off the plywood. You can see kind of like the outline of the ESC in the bottom, and then there's a platform on top. So that's why it's so high. These servo connectors are pointing up, and it wouldn't let me get the wings on because there was some foam there. So I just cut it out, and literally it fits perfectly, pretty much. And then I just have my GPS coming through down right here. Obviously, I have it taped off because this is a tri-prop, and this prop does run fast. Like it has thrust, like a lot of thrust. I mean, it's a pretty insane amount. It's a pretty insane amount. All right, so that's my build, guys. Very simple. Plane came. They only sell this plane in plug and play. So I will link all my stuff down in the description. Now what I'm gonna do is I am gonna turn it on, and I'm gonna show you what the SNL will look like, and I'm also gonna show you just a little peek of how much power it has with that tri-prop. So yeah, I'm gonna put you guys back on once I get this thing turned on. And yeah, I also, one thing before I go, you're gonna see that I'm using the same exact light bows for my Fun Cub. I am using Zop Power 2200 milliamp 20C light bows, which is perfect. Gives me around 44 amps of continuous current, which this motor, like I said, only takes 20 amps. I think 44 amps. All right, so I'm gonna turn it on. I'll put you guys right back on. Sorry, I've been blabbering. I already told you it's gonna be a long video, but yeah, cool. All right, so as you guys can see here, this is what my SNL looks like. I know my FPV monitor actually has a DVR recorded inside, but it runs a TF card, and I don't have a TF card. So I am waiting on my TF card. So you guys can see I am in manual mode. I have manual mode, sub mode, sub mode, altitude hold, circling, which means it just circle in place at the altitude you put it in, and RTH. So this SNL is actually very, very, very good. I'm just gonna go over what's on the screen right now, and then I'm gonna show you the remote. So on the top left, we have RSSI. Because I am using, FlySky, because I am using PPM, there is no RSSI. Top left, also below that is the time. I'm not sure if there's like a certain speed it will go until the timer starts. I'm not sure. Obviously, right under it, you guys saw, is the modes. Under that, those numbers right there is airspeed. Obviously, I'm not running a pitot tube or airspeed sensor. They do sell one, SNL, on Banggood, but it won't be the most accurate thing in the world. So I will be basing my speed off of my amps and how, like, my amps. You can see my amps in the top right corner, but we'll worry about that. Obviously, below that is my coordinates. Below that is my satellites, which obviously you guys can see I have no satellites. Next to that is the temperature, I think, of the PMU. I'm not sure what that temperature is for. I think it's of the actual, like, flight controller itself, because it does get a little bit warm sometimes. Next to that, we have my elevation changes. Obviously, that little, like, triangle type thing. You see if I go up, 5. If I go back down, 0. Next to that, we have my roll. So if I roll right, negative. If I roll left, next to that. In the middle between that, I have my kilometers, which I hate. I don't hate that it's in kilometers, but for some reason it still is, even though I changed this to imperial, or just, you know, non-metric. Next to that, we have my feet from home. So that is how far I am from home. And then above that, we have my vibrations little chart. This thing is very sensitive to vibrations. Like, it feels everything. Like, if I throttled up, like, even just me shaking the table, you can see all that. It's super, just me doing this, and you see those dots move. It's super sensitive to vibration. So that's good though. It's good. Above that, we have a whole bunch of numbers. I don't know what that is. I don't know what CBR is. I honestly don't know. On top of that, the numbers that are changing from 5 to 6 is my height. Obviously, I have no GPS lock, so it's going to think that I'm at like 5 foot. And above that is actually my stick movements. As you guys can see, my rudder. And you guys can see on the left side is my rudder, and also my elevator, which you guys can see. One neat feature about the Esky, look at that. It's not, there's no control horn here. It's literally the whole entire elevator moves up and down. As I find that to be pretty cool. You can even see it in the FPV feed. I think that's pretty cool. So it's very simple. It's very simple. On top of that, we have my milliamps used, and also my amp. So if I just throttle up a little bit, it should change. It's not changing, but you get the gist. It does actually change. Next to that, we have my volts and my volts per cell. It doesn't tell me, so there's my volts, 12.9, so this is a full charge battery. It's not really 12.9, the PMU is not really that accurate, but it's kind of accurate. Each cell, it will go through, that's why it says 4.30, 4.31. I'm not sure which cell it's counting, but if it keeps on changing, it's changing. And then last, right in the middle, we have my north, my compass. It's very simple, it's a very simple build. So you guys can just see everything's on, the flight controller is on. It's all very simple. I'm sorry that this is such a long video. I just wanted to show you guys. And last thing, my favorite part of this whole build actually is the camera. And there I am. Hi. Hello. With my phone as my main recorder. Yes, look at that. It's just great. You could, and then I can actually see each wing. I can see each wingtip, and I can just see each wingtip. Sorry, I drifted off right there. I'm like trying to look at the FPV monitor through my phone. I can see every wingtip. Each side. I do have a little bit more left, like left authority on the 360 because it wouldn't center up. But I can see each wingtip. I can see if the control horn is moving. Obviously, the wings they use what's it called, push rod stoppers, whatever they are, that the little bolt that you have to go in. There's no like clevis hanger, that's what I mean. So just making sure everything is moving and everything. But yeah, guys, this is pretty much my build. I'm running a FlashSky FS i6X, which I've been having some trouble with the range. And when I did the maiden of that for myself, well, you guys can see the bent prop shaft, I only had around 200 feet of range. I'm not sure if my antennas suck really bad, or I honestly don't know. So what I'll do is I'm gonna buy one more set of antennas. They're ginormous antennas, like they're absolutely the biggest antennas I've ever seen in my life. They're 12 dBi antennas, and I'm gonna see if I can get some better range. If not, I'll put on the stock antennas again, and if those give me better range, then I know that the 6 dBi antennas I'm using kind of suck. So yeah, this is my build, guys. Hope you guys liked it. On to the outro. All right, I'm just gonna put the outro right after this, so you'll see me in like 2 seconds. All right, guys. Well, I'm sorry it's been so long, and I'm sorry that it's not my best video, but to be honest, I've been having a real problem with crashing planes, and I'm just trying to get this video done and out the way so that if this thing does ever crash, I have physical evidence that it was alive at some point. So yeah, thank you guys for watching my Esky Eagles. It's sitting right in front of me, still on. You guys literally just saw like a second ago. It's a very simple build. Not much to it, to be honest. It's just that there's just so much wasted space. It annoys me a lot. But it's honestly such a nice looking plane. I call it the egg, but I'm just gonna call it. I always call it Esky instead, but it's really just the egg. It's just the egg. So, ginormous wings, everything about it. I love everything about this plane. And transmitter, can you shut up? I'm trying to do my outro, bro. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys liked it. It's not my best video, and it's a pretty long video. I'm sorry about that, but I'm hoping it's helpful for you if you're trying to either look into this plane or look into the SNL or look into both and do the same thing I did. It's whatever you want. Just know that SNL I highly recommend. This plane I highly recommend for either, it's a trainer plane actually, FPV or trainer. You're just gonna have to do the antenna mod, the canopy mod that I did with the foam board and cutting and stuff. It might be a little bit nerve-wracking, but I think Banggood sells extra canopies. So yeah, keep on driving RC, keep on flying RC. Hope you guys had a great day. I hope I'm not too annoying. I hope I didn't like bore you out. It's been your boy New York Hobbyist. Peace. Oh, this video is gonna be so shit.